You ready? Here we go. Well, folks, you know the saying, if anything can go wrong, it will go wrong. Like, today is definitely that day for me. I sit here soaked from my seltzer water in my hand. I've been having issues with my lighting. I've been trying to get my microphone to work better. I've been doing a million things. It's just a big mess. What a start to the day. The mic settings might sound weird today. In fact, it looks like they are already. They're messed up. So I'm going to have to tweak them. I've been trying to improve the audio setup because recently people have been telling me that there's issue where the microphone is blocking out a lot of sounds. Like, I'll be in the middle of a sentence and all of a sudden the microphone will just like quiet and it cuts me off. So I said, I'll change the mic settings with the filters and the noise gate and everything. And I've been messing with this now for 2 different streams and I can't seem to get it right because I'm not an audio guy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just trying to learn this stuff on the fly and I don't really know what the heck I'm doing. So we'll see today if maybe on the podcast we could tweak this together a little bit. In addition, on today's show, we'll be talking about Life is Strange Double Exposure, which I played yesterday for the first time and have some thoughts on. I'll have a little bit of follow-up on some of the topics we're talking about this week. The election is right around the corner, so we'll gab a little bit about that. And more, of course, today is React Day. But it's the next to last ever React Day. So we'll talk about that too. All this and more on today's completely soaking wet episode of the Level 1 Podcast.
Get ready for some meaningful content, because the king is back, the king of the live stream, the king is back. Woo! Because the king is back, the king of the live stream, the king is back. Oh!
Yeah, so I'm soaking wet. I'm trying to clean up here. I don't even have the chat open on YouTube. Today's just, again, it's one of those days, everything possible compiling and going wrong on top of itself. So if you could bear with me here for a second, welcome to the show. Today is Monday, the 4th of November, 2024. I'm DSP, of course, and I hope that you guys are ready to chill and have a good day. Today's React Day. What that means is no gameplay. Now, here's the thing. I'm well aware that we're in the middle of the busiest gaming season of the year. I'm backlogged on playing new releases. You guys have been asking me to play more games and saying that I'm not playing games enough when it comes to these releases to really stay and cover them in a quick manner. And you're right. It's been crazy with me juggling the once a week React stuff, real life stuff going on, and other things all at once. So I apologize for that. I know that people want more gameplay. Notably, some people have said, why haven't you even tried Dragon Age Veilguard yet? Like, you've been talking about, possibly playing it. You even found a cheap way to get it, but you're still not playing it. I'm like, yeah, you're right, because I can't. Like, I can't right now. If you look at my schedule, I'm so busy juggling what I'm already playing that I haven't had time to really play a new game. And then on top of that, some people are like, well, if you're going to go back to the stuff that you started and didn't finish and this and that, I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. And here's the thing. For a lot of streamers, this isn't a big deal, right? For a lot of streamers, they're constantly jumping in and playing a little bit of a game. And then they see if they like it or not, or if their audience likes it, and then they drop it if not. Or sometimes they just drop it because they just didn't have time to continue it regardless, and it's no big deal. But I get it that for me, I'm the kind of person that has been playing, very long playthroughs, correct? Jade, really that happened yesterday? Jade says he tried to talk all day yesterday and the chat didn't see him. Jade, I'm sorry, really that happened? I don't know why. You're here today and we can see you. So I'm not sure what the heck happened yesterday. I wonder what happened to poor Jade yesterday. I'm sorry about that, Jade. If it happens again, certainly let me know. I don't know what could have happened because no one timed you out. No one had an issue. I wonder. Huh. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Now, we can see you now, that's for sure. Yeah. Okay, anyway. So, yeah, a lot of streamers, it's not a big deal, but for me, people kind of expect that when I dive into a game that I'm probably going to play it, in full length. And so just to look at some of the games recently, right? So, A Quiet Place. We played, like 5 hours of it, and I haven't gotten back to it, and it's been like 2 weeks, and I mean, I don't even know when I would right now. And a couple people, not a ton, but a couple people left comments and were like, hey, are you ever going to finish this game and go back to it? And I don't know. I legit don't know when I would have time right now. And now, I'm playing the campaign of Call of Duty Black Ops 6, and people have been asking me to play it, and I'm like, yeah, but I really like the multiplayer, so I'll try to sneak it in when I can. And now I've played 3 hours of it, and I can't stand it. I'm bored of it. It's so boring, and just feels like, again, it's the same fucking formula of either we're going to do something silly, like if they tried to copy Hitman in one point, and then they tried to just have a stealth mission that was boring, and then when it went to the whole, run and gun, kill a bunch of people, it was super boring. Like, no exaggeration, it was ultra boring. It was just like endless amounts of rooms full of generic enemies, packed to the gills, super repetitive. I don't want to play this. It feels like an N64 game. I want to go back to the multiplayer where I'm having fun, right? So, there's been things that I've been dropping left and right, and I don't know what to say. Like, I'm trying to find the right mix and balance of things that are good for the stream, that you guys are enjoying, that I'm enjoying, that we're all going to want to keep seeing, right? And it's actually kind of tough right now. This year has been one of the toughest years to maintain a game schedule. And the reason is, quite frankly, a lot of the games this year were very underwhelming. A lot of the games this year that you thought would have been, we're going to nail it, it's going to be perfect, ended up being kind of meh games. Or games that just don't really hold much interest after like one stream. So, it's tough right now. Like right now, this week, I'm still going to keep playing the Call of Duty multiplayer, and we're playing Life is Strange Double Exposure, which we're going to talk about in a second. And then later on in the week, okay, number one, I'm going to be getting a PS5 Pro at some point, and I'll be covering it by unboxing it, hooking it up, exploring its features, and playing some games on it to see how they perform on the Pro versus, the base PS5. Perhaps we'll try to pump it up to like 120 hertz and see if it runs at better frame rate, and can we go to 4K, and what does it look like there, and stuff like that. But outside of that, this Friday, there's Slitterhead. And you're like, wow, it looked interesting. All the stuff that we saw, about Slitterhead looked interesting. Now the reviews are out, and the review is like, the highest review I saw for Slitterhead is an 8. The lowest review I've seen is a 3. A 3. People are definitely not loving the game. They thought some people think it's okay, and some people are like, meh. So, now do I play Slitterhead, or do I skip it? Right? Like, what do I do? Do I actually play Veilguard? We can get it for $17. I can get Veilguard through the EA Plus Premium, whatever the heck it's called, subscription service. So I could start playing that this week. Do I do that? Like, I really don't even know what to do anymore in regards to games, because there's nothing that's a surefire win. It seems like games are so hit or miss. You know what I'm saying? That nothing is consistently good. And this is the busiest gaming season of the year, and the only consistent game I have to play is Call of Duty multiplayer. That's pretty sad. Nothing else has come out that's been good, right? So, that is true. There's a new Mario and Luigi game called Brotherhood coming out. And even that one, it's not doing very well. The reviews are like, man, it's not that good. So, like, what do I do? Right? Like, I don't know. What do I play? I don't know what to play. It's very confusing right now. I was having a good time, and all of a sudden, it seems like gaming's falling apart. We thought that November was going to be insanely busy, But instead, it's turning out to be kind of a disappointing month. Like, for example, here's what's going on in November, okay? So, Mario and Luigi Brothership is on November 7th, which the reviews are saying is not very good. Slitterhead, November 8th, and the reviews are saying it's not very good. Dragon Quest III Remake, November 14th. Now, if you guys didn't want me to play Metaphor, and I couldn't get an audience to come by and hang out and support Metaphor, how the hell would I get people to come by and support Dragon Quest? Right? Microsoft Flight Simulator comes out on the 19th. That I'm definitely playing. I'm putting it into the rotation as a chill stream game. Absolutely. Okay. So Stalker 2, is Stalker 2 still coming out on the 20th? I don't know if it is. But if it is, maybe that's one to check out. But that, again, even that's a big question mark, correct? After that, we got a few games in December, like Marvel Rivals on December 6th and Indiana Jones. I forget when that is because the date got erased somehow. But that's about it. Like, seriously. Like, that's it. That's all that's going on. That's all the games. Like, what the heck? Really? Yeah, that's literally it. So I don't even know what to say. Like, for the end of the year, we're going to really have to figure out what we want to do and think hard about it. And maybe bring back some games that have been on hiatus. Maybe we can bring back the Quiet Place and finish it. Maybe we can bring back System Shock Remake. Maybe we can check out Fallout London. You know, there's going to be some things we're going to have to talk about and figure out because for right now, I feel like it ain't working. I feel like with the lineup that we currently have, things are not going to be working out very well, you know? So, by the way, that's just what I'm talking about in regards to current gaming lineup. Now, what I'd like to talk about right now is this microphone, because this thing's driving me nuts. All right, I want to test something. All right, so first of all, I'm going to clap. Ready? So what just happened when I clapped? Was it smooth? Could you hear it the entire time? Or did it get too loud? Or did it break up? Like, what happened? I need to get this microphone fixed. I do, because it's really driving me bonkers now. Casanova says it was inconsistent, but Super Bonchan says it was fine. Sounded good to Perry. Artemis says it was inconsistent. How could we all have different experiences? You see? All I want to do is get you guys the best experience on stream, and I just can't. Clean as a whistle. 90% of the time it sounded fine. Sometimes it broke up. Okay. It did sound fine? All right. I'm trying to figure out with these stupid filters what to do with them because they're really driving me bonkers. Like, I messed with the noise gate last night, but I think I screwed it up, and I don't think it's working right anymore. I think I had this around 40. Open threshold, I think I had around 40. And then the closed threshold, I think I had around like 30. Like this. I think this is how I had it. So I'm going to test again. See, it seems like the mic's blowing up now. And it didn't used to do that. It seems like when I'm clapping, it goes into the red now, and it's not supposed to do that. It's only supposed to stay in the yellow, but now it's going to the red. And I don't know what's causing it to go into the red and blow up like that. So it's not the noise gate, or is it the noise gate? It's not the noise suppression because I didn't mess with the noise suppression. Maybe it's the noise limiter? I don't know. I don't even know if I messed with the noise limiter. I don't remember. What if I do this? Okay, so now I did that. Is it in the red? Now you see now it's less in the red. It's slightly in the red, but less in the red because I messed with the threshold of the noise limiter. If I go a little further, now it's only in yellow and it's never going to red. So now if I clap, it's staying in the yellow consistently and not going to the red. How's that? Is that sounding any better? Because that was the noise limiter, and it looks like it's keeping my levels in yellow, which is what you want, I guess. Okay. I also am employing now a compressor, and what the compressor is supposed to do, okay, it's supposed to make it so that when a sound is really low, it makes it equal sound. And when a sound's really loud, it makes it equal sound. So nothing gets blown out and nothing is like too. So let's try this. Ready? So now I'm whispering. And because of the compressor, you should be able to hear me. And now I'm standing here and I'm talking at a normal volume and you should be able to hear me. And now I'm way back here. And even though I'm way back here, you should still be able to hear me. Did it work? Because that's the compressor at work. So if that all sounded good, that's because I have the compressor on. Okay? Now, it worked. People are saying it worked. Cool, because I never had that before. I never had the compressor. All right? Now, I'm going to go to the other side of the room and talk. And I need you guys to tell me if you can hear me at all in any of these situations. Ready? Let's test it. So first I'm over here, and I'm near the side of the mic, and it looks like you guys can hear me. Now I'm going to move away. So now I'm on the other side of the room, but it looks like you can still hear me. Now I'm going to go to the window. So now I'm on the other side of the room, and I wonder if you guys can hear me at all. Okay? So did you hear me in all three situations? All three you could hear me. You heard me in all three situations. There's a problem then, because it used to mute the sound from the other side of the room, because now what I'm nervous about is you're going to hear the fan again. So let me test this. I'm going to do the fan all the way up to max blast. Okay? The fan is now on maximum. I'm going to be quiet, and you guys tell me if you hear anything, okay? Okay. You guys don't hear anything? All right. So that's good. I'm just curious now about the air conditioner, because obviously the fan isn't that loud. The air conditioner is. And so when it's AC season next year, I may have to mess with this filter a little bit. Okay? Okay. By the way, if you're wondering what's up with the lighting, so it's extremely windy outside today, and the wind is pushing the curtains all over the place, so I have to go fix them. But this is what I mean today. If anything can go wrong, it is going wrong today. I was having issues with my lighting, which I'm going to tell you about. Like, today's just, like, technical issues out the butt. All right? Let me go fix the curtains. Let's do some shout-outs, and then I'll tell you about my other issues that I was having. Okay? Okay. So, oh, you don't hear that, right? Okay, there's loud noise outside, and I'm wondering what it is, but you don't hear it. That's okay. So that's what we're testing. Okay. I'm thinking of getting some Velcro for my curtains, because we haven't really had like crazy windy days since I've had the blackout curtains yet. But now it's windy and the curtains are moving and the sun's coming through. As you can see, it was messing with the lighting. So I'm debating buying some sticky Velcro so I can stick the middle curtains together and they'll stay closed even with the wind. Okay. So let's do some shout outs and then we're going to continue on. I'm going to tell you about the issue I was having with my lighting this morning. So we start off today with Darkside Matthew. The first contribution is a $2 super chat, and he says, let's hit that 50 streak. Hello to DSPN chat. Good morning, Darkside Matthew. It's good to have you here. Indeed, we should call the attention to the leaderboard. As you can see, 49 straight streams. Of crushing the goals and thwarting the trolls, right? Once again. So thank you for that. Remember, the new goal, which we talked about yesterday, there's an awesome Japanese restaurant. It's called like Shakudo, and it is going to have unique Japanese cuisine, including yakisoba skewers, unique rice dishes, desserts, and more. And if we hit the goal by the end of the week, which would be 56, okay, we are going to order a bunch of interesting food from there and try it on a live DSP Tries It this Friday, okay? So, very good. I'm excited for that. Let's keep that momentum going. Remember, all contributions count, including super chats, super stickers, memberships, gifted memberships, subs, gifted subs, and tips. And I have animations for every kind of contribution possible. They're all going to have nice animations on the stream. So please consider supporting the stream, by the way, because it is React Day. It makes me nervous always on React Day because once we finish with this podcast and we go to reacting the DSP versus the internet show, attendance falls right off, and so does support. And it sucks because I really like the show, but I've seen over the last 6 months this big decline, and I'm like, all right, it's time to end the show. It's today and one more week next week, and then the show is done. But then we're going to work on a new long-form React show. In fact, I have some stuff to review today. If we have time, I'd like to go through some suggestions that I got for the new long-form React show that could possibly make it work, okay? So we'll talk. We might or might not talk about that today. You know, the whole idea is to retire the clip show, have maybe a month off from doing them, and then bring back a long-form React show that could work much nicer because we have set topics and videos set ahead of time so people know what to anticipate. And if they're interested in that topic, they can show up for that particular event. I think that's going to be much better than just, random clips that you don't know what's going to be watched today, so you don't know if it's going to be a good show or not, right? So, that's coming up. Please support the stream. We have Casanova, 41 months as a member, popping their membership notification this morning. Thank you, Casanova, for that. Game Ticker just did a €2 super chat. Now, actually, the euro is slightly stronger valued than the dollar. So Game Ticker technically will now be the top super chatter of the day. And Game Ticker says, what's more important, gameplay or a game story? It depends on the genre of game, honestly. Because there's sometimes that you've played games and the gameplay is repetitive and not that interesting, but the story's so good you want to keep playing. There's a game that the gameplay is an awesome gameplay loop that hooks you and keeps you and wants you to keep playing because of progression or because of something in it that's really fun, but the game doesn't really have a story. I can give you a couple examples of that, right? Any turn-based RPG, sometimes you can argue the gameplay starts off good but ends up being repetitive and grindy, but man, the story's so good you want to keep going. As opposed to Call of Duty, where the story, who gives a crap what the story of Black Ops 6 is? No one's playing the online multiplayer of Call of Duty for the story. They're playing to unlock new weapons, unlock new perks, new loadouts, get kill streaks, get score streaks, get epic kill-death ratios, right? So there you go. There's no definitive answer to the question. It's a very subjective question as opposed to an objective one. Everyone's looking for something different in a video game, much like everyone looks like for something different in a movie. Some people might love dramas. Some people might love love stories. Some people might want action with just a bunch of explosions. Some people want horror with gore, but some people want psychological horror, right? So it's all different. It's all personal preference, right? Okay. My hair is really weird today. Look at that. Really, really weird. I'm pretty sure we're getting a haircut in the next 1 to 2 weeks. I don't even know because, again, my wife makes all the appointments. And I'm pretty positive she said it's around middle of November we're getting haircuts. I hope so because my hair, as you can see, has grown real long now. And I definitely need a trim. Okay, so thank you, Game Ticker. Now, we head over to the tips side of things to get started. Our first tip of the day is a $1 tip, and someone says, I heard that you're going to play Stellar Blade now. Very exciting. Yes, you're right. Because all the games of the fall seem to be underwhelming or not very good. We're going to drop everything to do a full-on playthrough of Stellar Blade. Of course we are. I also heard that you're the one who started that rumor. Okay, I received a $25 tip from Perry the White, who says, Morning, Phil. The new Kingly intro is amazing. Yeah, you saw the new version? That's from Halloween. Pretty dope, no? Pretty dope. I love it. So thank you to the person who made and submitted it. And thank you all for supporting the content. There's one thing that I would like that I don't have yet, and I would like to request it. Allow the king to make a formal request this morning. I would like some kind of promotional artwork for my streams on Kick. Because I don't have anything. Right now, everything just says Phil's on YouTube, right? And I would like some stuff that says that Phil is streaming on Kick to help promote that. I don't, anything. I could put it on Twitter. I could put it on, my YouTube page. I could put it in the pre-roll stuff. I want people to know that I'm co-streaming now. Like a piece of art that says Phil co-streaming on YouTube and Kick. That would be awesome, right? So if anyone's interested in doing that and taking a stab at it, that would be great. And of course, you can email me or you can DM me on Twitter, whatever you'd like to do. My email is darksidephil@hotmail.com, okay? Okay. Cool. You Manny already said I can work on something tonight. Sounds good. Yeah, I mean, seriously, just to have something, because I've been now streaming on Kick for almost a month, actually. I think it's almost, we're going to hit the month anniversary this weekend, if I remember correctly. And, I don't have anything that says that I'm even on there besides me posting on social media. You see my hair is like long right here for some reason? Like I have a lot of hair right here. Right, only here. What is that? I have a big bump of just hair like right here in the middle of my head. It's bizarre. What is going on? Why do I have so much hair right there? It's bothering me. I'm just going to ignore it. I don't care. I'm going to ignore it or else it's going to bother me all day. Let's continue. I received a $2 tip. If you're looking for a game to play, play Stellar Blade. Wow, this person is very stubborn. If anything, you got to admire. You have to admire their dedication to this cause to get me to play Stellar Blade because they know I'm never playing it. Like they know that. I received a $1.52 tip, and someone says, "I've been a fan since 2011. I noticed recently you seem to be making default judgments based off of review sites. You told us to ignore them. Back in the day, I used to come to DSPGaming for unbiased takes. It seems you read reviews these days and stop clapping. It sounds suspicious with the mic settings. Reminds me of the incident." What? Wait, what? Hold up. Me doing this, clapping, applauding, visibly on camera, reminds you of the incident. Wait a minute. Here it is. No, I don't think so. I think you're just stupid. Sorry. I don't know what else to say. That's probably one of the stupidest comments I've ever received. Me clapping reminds you of the incident. Okay. Well, what happens when I burp? Right? What happens when I fart? Anyway, thanks for the dollar tip. Let's continue. I received a $10 tip. Oh, really? Lady Charisma has tipped $10 and has something significant to say about Dragon Age Veilguard. Now, this is interesting. Okay. I want to hear this take. So here's what Lady Charisma has to say. Just skip Veilguard after 20 hours playing it. So this person's played it for over 20 hours. It's a poorly made safe plot. It's like they had lawyers and HR write this thing. A lot of folks just write off the game as woke, which has lost a lot of meaning in this climate. As an extremely progressive person, this feels like a game made purposely being so as bad just to like mock people. It's a plant designed to make us look bad rather than an appeal to us. No person would think this is good unless they're posturing. This is a prime example of poor writing. While games like Baldur's Gate 3, Metaphor, and Cyberpunk of all games, even Inquisition landed real-world subjects with more respect than Veilguard does. It treats you like a child who doesn't even know how to tie their shoes. What really sucks is this game runs perfectly, but the gameplay is boring and it's wasted. Wow. From a person who is progressive, right? Who doesn't mind having those themes in the game, says the themes are done poorly, which is exactly what I said on this stream yesterday after viewing the oops, I used the wrong pronoun scene which everyone says is the worst scene in the game, right? Which, by the way, I should say, my takes on that yesterday are doing well. The first video that watches the scene back has over 2,000 views. The other video after the fact, that it was kind of the second half of the argument, has about 1,000 views, and they're climbing on the channel. Keep in mind, they haven't even been live for like 12 hours yet. So people are definitely enjoying me calling out this nonsensical game development and these games that people are releasing that are just, you know, so poorly done. I mean, that was my point. My point was, if these themes were done in context of the game that made sense, in a way that actually handled them well, I don't think anyone would care. But they're so laughably, jokingly handled to the point where it's like they had a football and they just bumbled it and fumbled it so many times it bounced all over the place. Like it's covered in grease and they just can't grab it. It's right there, but it's just slipping all over the place, zoop, 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 all over. And it's just a comedic failures, right? Comedy of errors. So anyway, yeah, that's sad. You know, this sucks because, I mean, Dragon Age, if you remember, back in the day, you guys, I say you guys, but how many of you really were watching me over a decade ago? I don't know. But back in the day, okay, I had not known what Dragon Age was. You guys convinced me to play Dragon Age 2. So I played Dragon Age 2, and I liked it. I definitely think the game had some issues and parts that were way too difficult, but I did enjoy it for what it was. And then after Dragon Age 2, you convinced me to play Dragon Age Origins. So I did. And that game, you could tell, was not designed for consoles, right? But the tone of the first two Dragon Age games is this dark fantasy, you know, lots of gore. And then every once in a while, they would throw in like a romance or something like that, right? And it was fine because the way it was in there was like, okay, we're alleviating the heavy, dark tones of this game with something lighthearted, or you know what I'm saying? It kind of made sense to do it that way. But this game just seems like they just want to put real life issues in it for the sake of feeling like, hey, everyone, look at us. We're pertinent. We're relevant. We're talking about stuff that's going on in the real world. But people aren't buying Dragon Age to experience real world issues, right? It's like I said yesterday in the video. Who bought Dragon Age because they want to hear people sit down and talk about politics in real life, right? It's not even like the politics of the game. It's like shit from real life that we're dealing with right now. No one wants that. Do you play Super Mario Brothers to hear the Goombas talk about pronouns, right? What the fuck? No, I just want to stomp the Goomba. I want to grab the coins. I want to save the princess. That's the point of a video game, to escape reality and to be able to have some fantasy in your life so that you can do things that normally wouldn't be doing, you know? This drives me nuts that people act like this and think that, oh, this is great. It's not. I don't think that having that content in Veilguard is helping anyone. It doesn't help trans or non-binary people. It doesn't help people who are trying to push a progressive narrative. It just fumbles the ball so bad, it makes everyone look bad. Again, it really felt to me like the BioWare devs wanted to be Naughty Dog. Man, if only we could be Naughty Dog and turn our game into The Last of Us 2 so that we'll be champions for progressiveness and people will buy the game on that fact because the game ain't so good. The truth is, Last of Us 2 was really good. People who are playing Veilguard are kind of like, it's just kind of meh. So, yeah, that's pretty sad, man. It's sad that again, this is what I'm saying, the point I'm making. We're in the midst of the busiest gaming season, and these are the games coming out. It's not even a good gaming season, in my opinion, right? Like, it really hasn't been. It's been a mostly dead year. There's just not a lot going on. It's just very disappointing this year with the games that are coming out. It's like, man, just struggling to maintain a bunch of games that you even want to play long term. It sucks. And what really sucks is I wanted to play Metaphor and no one wanted it. Like, I wanted Metaphor. I knew that game would be good. It seemed way better than Persona, and I couldn't get an audience for it, right? Okay, Hank, thanks for a $5 super chat. It says, big budget Hollywood biopic of your life. Who directs and who plays me? Spike Lee directs and Danny DeVito plays me. It's the only way to go. Then it would definitely hit the spot and be authentic. You got to go with that awesome combination. So thank you, Hank. That's now the biggest super chat of the day. Sonic My Shadow just did a $5 super chat and says, I know you'll love Sonic Oh, excuse me. I know you love Silent Hill 2 Remake. How do you rate the game higher now that your theory is confirmed? Yeah, for those who don't know, I mean, this is a spoiler, but not really. As I was playing Silent Hill 2 Remake, I came up with a theory because there's certain parts of the game where you encounter a puzzle that was originally in the original version of Silent Hill 2, but the puzzle is different. It's been changed, and that puzzle isn't in this game, but what'll happen is there'll be like this ripple flash in the graphics to signify, oh, look, this was a puzzle from the first game, but it's not really present in this version anymore. At the same time, a lot of the themes, a lot of the bosses, a lot of the puzzles are still there. So it's kind of weird that some things are the same and some things are very different, right? I surmised in my playthrough, James, the main character of Silent Hill 2, is stuck in an endless time loop of torture. That he is stuck endlessly in Silent Hill, reliving the events of Silent Hill 2 in a loop, and it never ends. This is why there's multiple endings. This is why there were the changes to certain things. So basically, it's like his torture forever. What he, in the plot, right, did something terrible in real life, and then he's tortured for, like, this is his endless purgatory or even hell, all right? So I guessed this during the course of the game. It's been confirmed by the game devs, 100%, because those collectible photos that you find during the course of Silent Hill 2 Remake actually are a secret code. If you find every photo and you count the number of objects in each photo, it's a code, like 1 is A, 2 is B, 3 is C. And if you do it out and you do this code, do you remember in Dead Space 1, if you take the first letter of the name of each chapter, it spoils the end of the game? The photos spoil the plot. The photos explain he's stuck there in a time loop for over 20 years and has never been able to leave. He's just stuck in Silent Hill forever, endlessly reliving the events over and over, sometimes with variations and changes in the sequence, but he hasn't escaped. And that's why there's different endings, and that's why things have changed. So yeah, 100% confirmed. And what a mind screwing job that is to find that out. Like, damn, the ultimate horror. He didn't go through it once. He went through it infinitely. He can't escape ever. It's always the same for him. So yeah, that's pretty nuts. So anyway, that's cool. Thanks for bringing that up, Sonic My Shadow. Now, did it change my thoughts on the game? No, like, I loved the game anyway. Like, definitely Silent Hill 2 Remake is one of my favorite games of 2024, hands down. So it's not going to really change my opinion, I don't think, for the better or the worse, because I already really liked it. Okay. Continuing on. I received a $1 tip. There you go. Someone, just listen to this. Someone tipped $1 and says, you won't play Stellar Blade because you are gay. And that is why you play WWE Champions. Well, that's not true at all. First of all, gay people don't have an aversion to women. Like, what are you talking about? Because that's what that's what you're trying to say is, oh, because the main character is a sexualized woman, that's why I don't want to play it. Gay people don't have an aversion to sexualized women. What are you talking about? This person sounds very sheltered. Do they not? Like, they have this weird misconception about gay people, that gay people don't like women. Like, what are you talking about? That's not the case at all. Isn't it true that a lot of gay males are, like, best friends with women? They you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not attracted to them or anything, but they're still friendly, and you know, what are you talking about? Like, oh, I have a strong aversion to women because I'm gay. No. What planet do you live on? I don't know. And the funny part is, the WWE Champions thing also makes no sense. WWE Champions has men and women. It has both in the game. So to say that someone plays that game because they want to see sweaty men, yeah, but there's also the women as well. So you don't know what the hell you're talking about. It's just, again, it's like a child, right? A child trying to take a stab at someone with a silly insult and just falls flat on his face because the child is dumb. Pretty much. All right. I received a $5 tip. It's Chonky Cheeks from Kick. Can we get an update on Wings or Boogie appearing on the show? Maybe you can go directly through Keem because I love the guys from Lol Cow Live. I'll be honest with you guys, I haven't worked on interview stuff at all. I told you, like, I got burnt out on it. Like, I was talking with several different people. All right, I'll give you a cumulative update here. I'll tell you how it ended for me, okay? Here we go. I'll tell you the full story. Maybe I'll even make this a clip for the show, okay? Okay. All right, I'm gonna do a clip because this is the God's honest truth, and a lot of people don't know this, so I just want to make this known. And by the way, don't worry, I'm not gonna blow up anyone's spot or anything here because some people might be like, "Whoa, he's gonna say something? Oh, I didn't say he could talk about that." Well, don't worry, I'm not gonna drop any names or anything. Okay, so where are we at? We're on 40 minutes in. Okay. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, people have been asking me recently what happened in regards to you doing interviews on the Level 1 podcast, right? And other topics like that. Like, you seem to have gone back to you're doing a lot of gameplay now. You're not necessarily doing some of the content like you said you had been interested in doing. I just got asked on stream, what's the status of doing an interview with Wings of Redemption? What's the status of doing an interview with Boogie? We'd like to see those interviews, even if it means going through Keemstar to get them going, right? Okay, here's the deal. So basically, I put a heck of a lot of work in the months of August and September and the first half of October into trying to schedule and even wrangle people to be interviews for this show, okay? It's shown that when you get interviewed on this show, there's good viewership, right? Like, we get thousands of viewers for those interviews, and they get good viewership as well on the channel, and a ton of people clip them and talk about them. So it gets you good notoriety. It gets a buzz going in the online community when I have people interviewed on this show. But the thing is, it takes a hell of a lot of work to make it happen. And sadly, because of who I am, people just don't make themselves available as if I were someone else. Allow me to explain, right? As you know, for the greater part of a decade, I have had haters, trolls, detractors, whatever you want to call them, who harass everyone associated with me on the internet. Like, completely, right? And so, when you are going to appear on this show as a guest for an interview, you have to understand the amazing amount of harassment you might receive as a result. No exaggeration, every single person, the 4 people in a row that I interviewed on this show, all received mass harassment from my detractors. They all were contacted and thrown, "Oh, you got to talk about this topic. You better fucking talk to Phil about this. You better do this. Why didn't you do this? How dare you do this and this and this and this?" It's like, what the fuck? All they want to do is come on the show and talk with me in an interview. And it could be about any topic. You know, each person was unique. Keemstar, Stuttering Craig, June the King, and then Tolomeo. All were 4 completely different people with different topics to discuss, correct? I didn't even know how some of the interviews were going to go when they went down. It could have went different directions, right? But the problem is, when you are now going to appear on the show and you know that now this means weeks of systematic harassment, they're going to come to your content and streams, they're going to come to your forums, they're going to come to your Discord, they're going to go to your social media, and these morons, these mouth-drooling idiots are going to come harass the shit out of you. That scares a lot of people, all right? At first, I had a few people who were very interested to do an interview, and then they basically saw how the other interviews went down and the level of harassment that some of these people went through and said, "I don't want to deal with that." I had people lined up for it, and then they backed out. Okay? Now, in the regards of people who are not necessarily involved with internet drama, there's 2 particular people, okay, who I've actually wanted to do like an interview with for many, many years, one of which I really, really respect, okay? Someone who I've known for a long time. Someone who I feel like if we sat down and we had a candid interview about certain topics, it could actually blow up in regards to the internet talking about various things, okay? Because I don't think anyone's ever had these discussions before. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to, again, I don't want to blow up anyone's spot or whatever, okay? So I'm talking with this particular person for months, all right, about this and how it would go down and everything. And basically what keeps happening is this person, again, they don't understand the internet hate against me. They don't understand how the detractors were. They just keep hearing new things, new toxic things about me every week from fucking detractors and shit, right? So one week it's this, oh, Phil did this, and the next week it's Phil did that, and next week it's Phil did this, and next week it's Phil did that, and it's none of it's true. Like, literally, it couldn't be further from the truth. For example, one of the things that scared them off was over a month ago on my React show, DSP versus the Internet, there was a clip. Someone had submitted it, and it was a VTuber, all right? And I guess this VTuber was playing Street Fighter 6, and another VTuber matched up with them, and they're playing them, and they're freaking out. Now, I don't even understand the context of the clip, and my chat's trying to explain to me, I guess both of these VTubers had been in like a tournament or something, and so for them to play and match up randomly was incredibly rare luck that this ever would happen. So that's why the VTuber's freaking out. I said, all right, this is kind of interesting. I'll watch. I'll see if they're any good. I'll commentate. And I'm watching it, and I watch a couple minutes of the clip. But this VTuber just keeps screaming at the top of their lungs. And it's grating. Imagine if the whole podcast was this. And I didn't have a voice limiter on. Imagine if it was just screaming, screeching. Okay? So after watching this for like 2 minutes, I was like, guys, I'm sorry. I literally can't keep watching this clip. It's actually giving me a headache. Like, it's bothering me. I'm not trying to insult the person. Just they talk so high pitched and so loud, constantly screaming, that it's actually hurting my head. And I want to just move on to the next clip. Okay? And that was literally it. Like, that was literally 100% it. My detractors took that clip and started spreading it all over the internet saying, DSP hates VTubers. Here's him being totally bigoted and prejudiced against VTubers. And it's not what happened at all. It could have been any clip I was watching and someone was screaming at the top of their lungs and it hurt my ears. I would have said the same thing. It didn't matter that it was a VTuber. It doesn't matter if it's a male or a female or somewhere in between. It doesn't matter what the color or race or creed or whatever. It could have been any single thing. If it's that high-pitched of a sound, it's going to hurt my head, and I don't want to watch the clip. I'm going to move on to the next, and I have the right to do that. It's my React show, right? I don't have to sit there and torture my fucking self with a clip. If it's so loud, it hurts me. So I'm not kidding you. This person says to me, who I've been trying to get on an interview for months. So I heard now that you're saying awful things about VTubers, and I don't understand why, I don't know why would I want to do an interview with you? You're just someone who's trying to cause problems and stuff. I was like, what are you talking about? Did you even see the clip? Do you even know what happened? This has nothing to do with the person being a VTuber at all. I would have said that to anyone who was being too loud, right? So that's the point. Like, trying to arrange these interviews is like so much pulling teeth and bullshit, and it's because of bullshit. It's not because I wouldn't be a good interviewer. It's not because the interview wouldn't be good content. It's because there's 10 years of shit all over the internet about me. So when you try to get someone to interview, like, I don't want to deal with this guy. Nah, this guy's terrible. I've heard this and this and this about him and this and that. You guys who are here every day watching my content, you know who I am because you're here every day. You watch it and you support it and you enjoy it. But outsiders don't know that. They tend to believe the things they hear. Or they just hear the next bullshit thing over and over and over. To the point where, I mean, I get it. Like, imagine every day my detractors make something up about me. I ignore it and I'm fine. Like, I'm doing well. Just so everyone knows, I'm doing very, very well. All right? To the point where things are better for me financially. I can now afford things. As you can see, I'm upgrading my equipment. I just got a new washer dryer. I have an electrician who's going to be coming in the next couple of weeks to install ceiling fans in my home. I've got other things going on. I'm taking more time off to spend with my family. And this is all great stuff thanks to you guys, right? I'm not hurting here because my detractors don't really affect me in that regard at all. However, where it is hurting me is public image, where trying to cross over and have opportunities, they're not happening. Why? Because these idiots say so many toxic things every single week that people who are outside of this bubble of toxic internet drama don't get it and don't want to be associated with it. And I can't blame them. All right? I literally can't. There's people who I've had talked with or association with in the past that no longer want to do that. They don't want a chance that my detractors will latch onto them and cause them problems. And I totally 100% get it. Why wouldn't I? I'm here in the center of it, so I know what it's like. I could just imagine what it would be like if you have your own thing going on, your own life, your own business, your own internet, thing, and now all of a sudden my detractors are going to start coming after you. You wouldn't want to do that, right? So, yeah, it's pretty fucked up. You know, I was working my ass off trying to get interviews every night after work. You know, after my wife went to bed, I was there messaging people behind the scenes. Hey, let's do this, let's do that. Here's how we'll make it work. Let's get a schedule going. Let's do this. It was a nightmare. And then, again, the straw that really broke the camel's back was last month with Boogie, where I'm working with this guy for weeks and weeks to do this interview, and he's just not working with me. I need him to simply tell me the date and time. I need him to simply tell me his Discord so I can send him an invite. I need him to accept my invite request. And it's like insane amounts of work to get this guy to even fucking respond, right? Now, Wings has outright told me he wants to do the interview. 100%. He wants to do it. But he said that he would, you know, he was, because of everything going on last month with the surgery and everything, that he was going to get back to me on when he's ready. He hasn't yet. So maybe he never will. Maybe I need to go after him, right? But to be honest, I just haven't worked on it, nor have I really cared. Being completely transparent with all of you, I just don't really care right now. I'd much rather focus on my content. Let's make my content better. Let's find games people want to see, right? And play them. Let's focus on improving the React content. Instead of it being a weekly clip show, let's really work on making a long-form show work, right? So let's brainstorm. Let's work on that. And I have all the stuff. I don't know if we're going to get to it today again. You know, we're going long-term here. Every day I say I'm going to get to it, and we're going to talk about it, and we never do, right? So we'll see. Let's see what happens. But basically, the way I see it is I think eventually I will get back to interviews when I feel like it. I just don't feel like it right now. I'd much rather focus on my own shit than trying to wrangle people, because that's what it feels like. It feels like I'm in Red Dead Redemption, I got a lasso, and I'm trying to wrangle the wild horse and then tame it to get it to come to do a fucking interview, and it shouldn't be like that. Like, really, it shouldn't be like that at all. It should be, hey, do you want to come on? Yes. Okay, here's the schedule. Here's the slots. You want to come on one of those? Yes, I'd like to come on this one. Okay, send me your Discord. Okay, here it is. All right, we're set. Talk to you next week when we're ready to go. Instead, it's like, message, wait 3 days for a response. Then they respond and they're confused. You got to clear up their confusion. Then you got to talk about that. Why is it 3 weeks before I even start talking about getting them on the show? Like, forget it. Fuck it. Really, it drives me fucking, like, absolutely insane. And just for the record, all right? And again, this is not particularly aimed at any person, all right? There have been multiple ideas regarding me interacting with other people, all right, on the internet. People who sometimes have had history with me, people who you think you would love to see this happen, DSPX, whoever, right? And these ideas have been worked on and proposed, and every fucking person has backed out. Every single person has backed out. And it's been a bunch. It's not one or two, it's a bunch. So people are happy to talk about DSP whenever it means that they can punch me. Okay? If it's, oh, I could just make fun of Phil today and make money. So here it goes, right? You know, think of Review Tech, right? I mean, he's definitely one of them. But basically, if it means that I can take a cheap jab and I could beat up Phil today and blood is squirting out of him and I make money, that's great. But now, Phil is willing to do actual crossover events, conversations, you know, to actually have a chance to, like, respond, to defend myself, or go back at them. No one's interested. Oh, so you only want to address Darkside Phil when it means you get the free punch and the free jab. The moment that I have the ability to clap back, you're a pussy. Yeah, and it's not one or two. It's been a bunch of people who the idea has been presented. Hey, Phil's willing to do crossovers now. Phil's willing to do events now. Phil wants to have a conversation. Push the fuck out. So again, these people who are on the internet, who for years have been bullies, you have to question, why are they internet bullies? Because it's easy. Because when it's just you talking and there's no response, guess what? It's an echo chamber. And you get all these people who like that idea of bullying the person or whatever, right? There's no opportunity to clap back or respond. But now, oh, the tables have turned. Hey, let's do this for real now. Let's have a real back and forth. Let's have a real opportunity for a discourse or a discussion. Oh, no. Oh, can't do that. Oh, okay. Great. So anyway, that's why. If you're wondering. And by the way, no, again, I just want to make this clear. It's not directed at any one particular person or whatever, because you know people will make shit up. I have not said a single word. I have not blown up anyone's spot. I have not done that. But I know people are questioning me now. Phil, it's almost mid-November. You're not doing interviews. You're not doing crossover events like you said you would. I don't understand what's going on. It's not me. It's literally not me. It's like the internet has become a bunch of fucking pussies. Really. They just don't nothing to do with DSP, because you know what it is. They know now that I have a voice and I have points. You know, I have a podcast where I'm making good, valid points about shit that people are agreeing with. Fuck, I don't want to deal with that guy. I wanted to deal with the guy who everyone thought was a buffoon, who no one would listen to, because then it would be easy pickings for me. Oh shit, it's not easy pickings anymore? Oh, fuck that. I want nothing to do with them, right? Well, fuck off then, I guess. I don't know what else to say, right? But I guess that's life. What can I say, right? Anyway, so there you go. That's what's going on. If you were wondering, you know, will I ever get back to interviews? Will I get back to special crossovers? Perhaps. Okay. But no, exactly right. Maxwell says it's because your reputation changed. They all wanted to talk to you before your comeback started. And they were all begging to get you in an interview. Numerous examples. Now they suddenly don't want it. Yeah. I mean, Rich is definitely the biggest case of that. Review Tech, where for years, all he wants to do is interview me. Then I say, hey, this is it. Come on my show. And he's the ultimate pussy and won't do it. But then he continues to do the one-sided narrative shit on his streams, but he won't have the conversation with me. If you won't come on my show and interview me, or I interview you, or we go back and forth, then you have no right to then do what you're doing on your content, on your streams. You don't. You just don't have the right. You know? Sorry, you forfeit the right to validly criticize someone when you run from them like a fucking coward. All right. So that's all I have to say about that. So real quick, guys, what I want to do is talk about the schedule for the week, because it's really weird. Because now I don't even know what we're going to be doing, honestly. Like, I really don't. I don't know what we're going to be doing, because I don't know what games we're playing. I really don't know what's happening at this point. Things are definitely changing. Okay, so today it's React Day. Once we finish with this podcast, the stream will go down. It will resume over on DSP Reacts, and it's the DSP versus the Internet clip show. All right? If you're on Kick, the show will just resume on Kick, so you don't have to go anywhere. It'll just go down for a few minutes and then come right back. Next to last show, meaning after this week, there's only one more show next week, and then that's it for the short form clip show. It's lasted about 2 years, 90 episodes. It was a great run, but the interest in the show has definitely massively declined. I've noticed viewership, support, everything has tanked in this show for the last 6 months or so. So definitely, I want to do something different, and that's why we're going to work on this long form React idea. All right. But, there you go. That's what's going to happen. And then tonight on the late stream, 7 p.m. Pacific time, it is Retro React to Silent Hill 1, the conclusion. All right, we're actually going to finish up Silent Hill 1 tonight, and that's going to be fun. I've had a good time with it. I really have. And the question is going to be, do we want to keep doing weekly Retro React streams, or do we now give it a break? We've been doing Retro React since like April. So April, May, June, July, August, September, October. We've done it for almost 8 straight months weekly. It's been a great ride. I really enjoy the streams, but maybe we give it a break and we bring it back in the future, because right now I'm not even sure what the next game would be. And honestly, again, I'm noticing definitely that attendance and support for those streams is dwindling. You know, we're narrowly hitting the goals on those streams, and the attendance is very low. So maybe we give it a break and then we come back to it at a future date, right? So that way we can maybe start focusing on more things that are missing from the schedule, like fighting games. Haven't been in the schedule for a long time. Maybe we bring back fighting games. A chill game. Well, we haven't had something like Stardew Valley in the rotation for a while. Maybe we bring something like that back. I'm just saying, you know, I'm throwing ideas out there, right? So, let's talk about that, about what we want to do very soon. But I'm thinking maybe we just get the React stuff out of the schedule for a bit, And then that way, when we'll get a craving for it again, and then we can bring it back and it'll feel refreshing. Rather than, oh, it's React Day again. All right, let's do it. It'll be like, oh, man, Phil hasn't done any reacting in a while. It's feeling fresh. Let's bring it back now, right? Keep in mind, if we stop doing the Retro React streams, you still have 2 different playthroughs that are being restored on DSP Throwback right now. We're right in the midst of Silent Hill 2 HD, my original run from 2012, and we're also in the midst of Mass Effect 1, my original run from, like, what was it, 2010? So there's 2 ancient playthroughs being restored there on a daily basis that you can check out. It's not just the Retro React content that's on that channel, so it's not like it's going to be starving for content or anything like that. And hell, even the React channel, right? Even if we're not doing DSP versus the internet anymore, right now, my streak has been continuing. If it continues, it means that once a week we're going to be doing some kind of a special DSP Tries It video. So you'll have 1 a week of that. And we're going to start planning my long-form React content, which I'm hoping maybe we could do sometime in December. We can do a special long-form React day where I react to some, either a documentary or a few longer videos. And that could be extra fun content to break stuff up and be good for variety that I think more people would enjoy than just randomized clips, right? So there you go. Conan has done a $5 super chat. Any chance of getting a new version of the 12 things this year that really were a bitch? I know what you're saying. That is an incredibly old project of mine, right? I think it was that what I called it? They really were a bitch? I can't remember exactly how I termed it. It was based on something from my youth. I remember I heard a song, The 12 Things at Christmas That Are Such a Pain to Me, right? Instead of, the 12 Days of Christmas, A Partridge in a Pear Tree, and I made my own countdown. And was it Halo ODST was like the last one or something like that? I mean, that's how old it is. Halo ODST, right? Yeah. So, yeah. So anyway, maybe I definitely do things for year end. I always do a, best games of the year countdown. I always do a most disappointing games of the year countdown. Last year we did something different. What was it? What was the third thing we did last year? Can't remember exactly what it was. We did another special thing last year too, right? But, oh yeah, the Order 1414 was a bait and switch. I remember that one too. I remember that. That was more recent. Or it's still like 10 years ago. Jeez. The thing is, all right, I don't do video editing. I can't do video editing. I don't have the ability to. I don't even have the software, and this PC's so old, right? So I can't really do those kind of projects, So sadly, no, like something like that wouldn't be possible. But we could do year-end special streams and stuff like that. I'm planning on definitely doing some year-end special streams on YouTube and on Kick, okay? So when we get to them. But no big edited content because I just don't even have the capability to do that right now. If I can get a new PC, which I'm trying to do maybe this month during Black Friday time or Cyber Monday time, then maybe I can do a transition sometime in December from the old PC to the new PC for capturing and streaming, and then maybe I could look into stuff like that. But right now, I just can't do it. Okay. All right. So today's React Day, and I certainly hope that you guys will support the content. Guys, this podcast will end in about a half an hour, and then we're going to start the React show. If you aren't going to be there for the React show, all right, but you like the stuff, please support this podcast right now because this support counts towards the React show. It's all one. I consider it one stream, even though technically it's not. I want the streak to continue. I'm nervous about today. I'm being very honest with you. Would be number 50. It would be a milestone goal to hit 50. But I'm nervous about hitting it today. I'm nervous that because it's the React show, we're going to get less attention. Even now on the podcast, we have less attendance. We don't have 300 viewers, right? We only have like 30 people watching on Kick. Typically, there's more than that. And I think it's because today's React Day. People aren't coming by because they're not really too interested in the React show, which is why I'm retiring it next week. You understand? So it would be great to get more support on the show today by the end of this stream or the end of this podcast. If we hit the goal now, that way we don't have to worry about support during the show. In fact, last week, that's exactly what happened. Like, no lie. We hit the goal on the podcast, and then I got like $1 of support during the entire React show. No exaggeration. It was like zero, almost zero. So definitely hitting it now would help the streak and alleviate any kind of fears that it's going to end now because I'm doing React content today. But I mean, again, this is one of the reasons why I'm phasing it out. I definitely know that you guys have been liking and wanting more gameplay, not React stuff. So that's why I'm doing it this way. And we're going to only have 2 more shows of it, okay? So reacting all day today. Tomorrow, we're going to return to Call of Duty Black Ops 6 multiplayer. That's going to be the daytime stream. Actually, I had a great time last night. I actually did an impromptu hour of it because I didn't like the campaign of Call of Duty. I got tired of it, right? So, yeah, so I'm interested in that. And, oh, this is hilarious. Hold on a second. Someone in chat says, all of your detractors are willing to sit down and have an interview with you, like Duty, Snort, Raw, they're open invite, stop lying. Who said I want to talk to them? No. I'm not talking about internet nobody detractors. How could you possibly confuse the two? I'm talking about people who are notable YouTubers, who have followings, who make livings doing it, who go viral for the content they make, shitting on me. That's who I'm talking about. Somebody's. Not fucking internet detractor nobodies. Literally no one wants to talk to detractor nobodies. No one. Right? We entertained Duty for like half a second 2 months ago. And that was it. There's no point to giving these people attention. They are literally no ones. No one cares about them or what they say. I'm talking about these people who have brought me up time after time after time after time after time in their content as the joke, the butt of the joke, the whipping boy. But now DSP is willing to come on and talk with them. Let's do a crossover event. I'll go on your show. You come on my show. Let's do this. Let's have a special. Let's have a neutral ground to appear on. Oh, no, can't do that. Well, then why the fuck did you talk about me for years? Now that the ground is becoming more fair, oh, no, I can't do that. Okay, Mr. Million Sub YouTuber, Mr. gets hundreds of thousands of views on every video you put out, particularly ones about me that crap on me. But now that the tables have turned and people want to see me clap back, you don't want that opportunity. You want to shut down that avenue. Okay, well, that's on you. I mean, it's pretty disingenuous. That's what I'm talking about. No one is talking about my detractors. No one wants to talk about my detractors or talk to them. They're losers. They're complete wastes of life. If they disappeared from the planet today, literally no one would care. No one. They'd be like, oh, well, move on. So why the fuck do I care? I don't. I never will. You will never see me doing an interview with a detractor and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway. Okay. So continuing on. Tomorrow, it's going to be more Call of Duty multiplayer, and then it's going to be Life is Strange Double Impact on the late stream. Now, I've been asked to make a brief appearance on Kino Casino for their election special. And I am going to do that. What I'm going to do tomorrow, I'm going to attempt to get the Life is Strange stream started quickly, go 2 hours, end it like sharp between 9:15 and 9:30 so I can go and jump on their show for like 20, 30 minutes, maybe, and just do a little bit of an appearance. And then that's it. I can't go late because it's just a special thing I'm wedging in, all right? Because they've asked me to do it. So I'm going to be on there for just a little bit briefly to talk about how the election is going and stuff like that. All right. Then on Wednesday, it's kind of up in the air because originally I was considering Veilguard and I was considering other stuff, but I'm guessing maybe we shouldn't. Maybe on Wednesday we can flip it. And maybe on Wednesday, the day stream will be Life is Strange and the night stream can be Call of Duty. And then Thursday, I'm off this week. It's a day where my wife and I are going to be doing a lot of different appointments and stuff offline. And then on Friday, we got to decide what I want to do because I don't know if I'm going to be playing this Slitterhead game or not. Originally, it looked interesting to me, but now the reviewers are saying it's quite boring and repetitive. So now I don't know if I want to do it. I want to look more into these reviews and try to figure that out. I mean, if not, it's not the end of the world. We still have games to continue on with. But I'm very curious about what's going to happen with this PS5 Pro. Like, it's supposed to be delivered this week, but there's been 0 updates about it. I did reach out to the fan who did pre-order it for me to see if they've received any update about it, because I'm trying to figure out exactly when it's going to show up. Because if it's going to show up on the 7th, I'm not here. I'm going to be gone all day, and I won't be able to hear to receive or sign for it, so it may end up getting delayed. So depending on when I get it, I'm definitely doing an unboxing, setup, testing it, stuff like that. I think you guys would love that and be fascinated with it, right? But outside of that, I don't know if I'm doing Slitterhead or not. I think I want to bring back fighting games, because now we haven't had fighting games consistently in a while. So whether that's the Marvel collection to play Marvel vs. Capcom 2, whether that's Street Fighter 6, or whether that's both. And I think we need to get a chill game into the rotation, like a late night chill stream again. And definitely Stardew Valley was working for that. You know, I know that middle of this month, the new Flight Sim's coming out. And that's going to be very interesting because I've heard the graphics are going to be like groundbreaking and stuff. That could be really good. So I definitely think that it'd be good to get that stuff back in the rotation. And then we get other games that we start interjecting into the day streams. Okay? Okay. So that's what's coming up this next week, FYI. All right, guys, anything you want to talk about at this point? Like, I got so distracted today because of all this stuff going on. Like I said, my seltzer exploded in my hand and soaked me. My mic settings were all screwed up. Hopefully, my mic is sounding good now. I don't know if you guys think it's sounding better. If I do this, it sounds like, it looks like you can almost consistently hear it. It looks like I got the mic under control, so it's not going into the red anymore. Hopefully, it all is sounding around the same level because now I have a compressor on, right? So hopefully all these things are happening and it sounds better. I was actually having an issue this morning, a big issue with my lighting, okay? So I'm in here and I'm setting up my lighting and all of a sudden the whole thing goes down. What happened? It's off. And now my app is saying, oh, cannot detect the product. There's no products to sync with the app. I'm like, well, that's completely false. So as I'm trying to fix it, all of a sudden it just starts working again. And then I'm setting it up, and all of a sudden it goes down again. I'm like, huh? So then come to find out, they pushed a firmware update, and if you don't do it, it keeps desyncing. So I did the firmware update, and that's, as you can see, it's worked beautifully the whole podcast. So for some odd reason, the firmware update makes this thing screw up. But luckily, I got it working again. It's just firmware, so I don't know. I don't think they actually updated the app with any new features. It would be nice if they would give some new, like, color features. Today, I decided to just go pure purple rather than any movement. But I like some of the things, but I wish that they would add new ones. Like if there'd be a holiday one or something, that would be cool. But I don't think they're doing anything like that. Okay, 1 second. Again, my curtains have opened. Okay. There, hopefully it stays. The wind is so strong out there today that it keeps blowing them open, so I closed them again. Hopefully it doesn't keep doing it. All right. Let's just open up the chat to some Q&A for like 20 minutes. I got really nothing else to talk about today. Nothing too particularly that interesting. So let's see what you guys want to chat about, okay? Yakko Mighty says, what games are you planning to test with PS5 Pro? I would say Horizon Forbidden West. Maybe turn it on 4K and try to just do a flyover of the map and see what it looks like. You know what I mean? Like with the rendering and everything, you know, or 1080p, but 120 hertz. See what that looks like. Probably God of War Ragnarok, right? I was going to say Street Fighter, but I think Street Fighter limits you to 60 frames, 1080p anyway. But maybe we could go like 4K and see what it looks like at 4K. Stuff like that. That's what I'm thinking. Like just a few games, 3 or 4 different games. Oh, you know what? Here's a big test. PS4 games have a new mode when they run on PS5. People are saying you can play Bloodborne with this special PS4 enabled mode, and it makes Bloodborne look much better. Like the graphics get a big upgrade. They look crisper and better. And it's the first time ever you've been able to play Bloodborne like that without like hacking it on a PC or something. So we could try that. Try PS4 games with this new enhanced mode and see how they look. Because I own that digitally. So that's true too. I've heard Final Fantasy VII Rebirth apparently is like a huge improvement on the PS5 Pro. Lady Christmas says, possible future event idea. Take some games that you were previously on the fence on. Get them on Steam, play them for the hour, see if you like them and you want to keep them or you want to refund them. I guess we could do that, but the question is, what? Like, what games? Because I don't remember, right? That would be a help. You guys would have to help me out with that. Because I certainly don't remember the games that maybe I've started to play and then gave up on or said, I'm not sold on. I don't know. I would need your help to remember those. Yak Almighty says, remember there was a Valhalla DLC last year that I didn't play. That is true. Maybe that's what I could do, the Valhalla DLC on PS5 Pro. Would I ever do taste tests of sweets and chocolates from other countries? Says Casanova. I would consider it. But I don't know, like, how would I get it? How would I get access to it? And what would the candies be and stuff, right? What happened to the Wonder Woman game they announced years ago? I don't know. Are they still making it? A lot of games are like that, like the Wolverine game, right? Everyone was all hyped for the Wolverine game. Then we didn't hear anything for a while. Then a hacker leaked a bunch of shit on it. Then we didn't hear anything for a while. And now we heard, oh yeah, the guy in charge of the game quit. He went off to work on a different project. And now someone new is in charge. I guess who's in charge? The person who was in charge of the Ratchet and Clank PS5 game. Well, that ain't good news. Because that game, I'm sorry, was very overrated. It literally just played like any old Ratchet and Clank game with slightly better graphics. So it didn't really revolutionize anything. And that makes me kind of feel like the Wolverine game isn't going to be that great. I don't know. Yeah, Still DeCubo says, remember, Bloodborne's hard-coded at 30 frames. This PS4 enhanced mode on PS5 is supposed to increase the resolution. So I think Bloodborne was it 720p and then you could do 1080, but it was like upscaled. So apparently now it's actually supposed to render at 1080 or something like that. And actually the graphics are much better. It's still 30 frames, but apparently it's much better now. I don't know. Maybe I should just do another run of Bloodborne. I haven't played that game in 700 years. Do a run of Bloodborne now enhanced on PS5. What do you think about that idea? That could be something to do. I've only played Bloodborne twice. I played it my first original cold run, and then I played it years later to do the redemption run and beat the Old Hunters DLC. Yeah, something like that, maybe. We'd have to think, like, what could we benefit from, right? What could we benefit from on PS5 Pro that's locked as Sony content that you cannot play on PC right now that would be better on PC? That's the things we have to figure out. I'm considering Slitterhead. I'm not against Slitterhead. I thought it looked interesting. I'm disheartened that the reviewers are not liking it and saying it's kind of blah. Because I don't want to play a game that we're going to play twice and be bored to tears, right? But hey, maybe I should judge for myself, right? I received a $3 tip from an anonymous tipper. Do you think you and Kat would ever play a new Mario Party game? That could be a fun stream. My wife is not going to be a part of my content until she is well and ready. I've already explained the many reasons. To reiterate, this year has not been a great year for us on the personal side. There's been a lot of issues going on with various different things. Stress levels, schedules, health. The original plan was that she was going to be in a lot of my content this year. She was going to be showing up for Q&A streams every once in a while. She was going to be part of gameplay. Like, we actually bought... what do you call it? Beyond Two Souls. And we were going to do a co-op playthrough of that. And it all fell apart. And, that's life. Sometimes things don't work out the way that you plan. And that's really what's happened is, this year, as you know, I've had a public resurgence. More people liking me positively than ever before. Or at least I should say for the last 10 years, right? The 10 years everyone's hated me. Now people are starting to like me again. That's cool. But outside of that, on the backside, it's not all that great. Some bad stuff's been happening in my personal life, and it sucks. But it is what it is. It's life, okay? So, no, she's not going to be in any content anytime soon. Maybe if it does happen, we'll let you know. But no, there's no rush to do it. We're not going to be doing that, okay? Sorry. What will I do with my original PS5? I don't know. I have no clue. Because here's the thing. Originally, the idea was that when I got this gaming PC, I was going to wait about a month and see if I needed the Xbox Series X for anything. And if I didn't, then I was just going to use the Series X, give it to her to play stuff on, right? There hasn't been a single video game that she's wanted to play. Seriously. Like, think of all the games coming out and the stuff that she used to be interested in. Assassin's Creed got delayed and was looking like shit anyway. Dragon Age, which she used to really like, now Veilguard doesn't look very good, looks like shit. So, like, every game she would have wanted to play, she's not playing regardless. So she's not even playing any games right now. So I haven't even given her that, you know. So it's like, oh, well, if I get a PS5 Pro, will I give my wife the PS5? I would, but I don't even know if she wants it. She doesn't like any of these games right now. So there you go. All right, guys. We got last 10, 15 minutes. Can we get a rally and a push? Can we hit the goal? And the reason I say it, all right, we got no subs on Kick whatsoever. All right, we did get some tips, and we got a few super chats. But I really am nervous about this goal getting hit during the React show. I am, legit. I'm telling you up front. The React show doesn't get a lot of support, and it doesn't get a lot of attendance. So I know when this show goes down and I start streaming over there, there's going to be a big decline, and I'm nervous. I don't want the streak to end at 49 because we're stuck doing these last 2 days of reacting, okay? So please, if you could, please support the stream right now. I'd love to give you a shout out. I'd love to get you on the leaderboard now. All right? Excuse me. Yes, the streak did end during a React stream before. It has. I think it did, right? Didn't it end during a Retro React 1 week? I'm pretty sure it did. Joel Loft says, I hope you'll finish Black Ops 6 campaign. There are missions upcoming that take place on the battlefield. It's worth finishing. Dude, I couldn't even stay awake playing it last night. You understand? I was playing it for an hour. My eyes were burning uncontrollably, and I was actually starting to nod off trying to play it. It was that fucking boring. So, I don't know, man. Being honest, I would much rather play the multiplayer. The entire time I'm playing the campaign, I'm like, I just wish I was playing the multiplayer. I just wish I was fucking playing it. And then I got so bored, fuck this, and we went to the multiplayer, and immediately, I'm reinvigorated. I'm doing well. I'm getting kill streaks. I'm leveling up assault rifles. I'm doing daily challenges. People are having a great time with it and getting excited and having fun. Why would I play the campaign? You know what I mean? In reality, if you remember, but by the way, thank you, Perry. I'm going to shout that out in a second. Thank you, Perry. If you remember, when Call of Duty used to come out, the first thing I would do is play the campaign. Why? Because the campaign used to be 3 to 4 hours long. You could beat it in like one stream, and it gets it out of the way right away, so now you can focus on the multiplayer, right? That's exactly what I used to do. But now what's happened is people always want to see the multiplayer first, so I do that, and it's kind of like, now I got to convince myself to go back and play the campaign when I just don't think it's very good. All right, so Perry the White has gifted 5 subs over on Kick. Let's get an animation playing for that. A special animation for subs now available. Thank you so much, Perry. Let's get you on the leaderboard. You're the first person to gift any subscriptions today on Kick. And so that gets us to $92 in support. So we're almost 2/3 of the way there. Can we hit the goal before the podcast ends in like 10 minutes? Can we do it? Can we hit the goal? Can we crush the trolls, continue the streak, keep it going, and keep it moving forward positively? Let's do it. Good stuff. Elixification says, careful, Phil. Your clapping is reminding me of someone walking on a bunch of putty. There you go. Conrad Saratoga has gifted a sub over on Kick. Thank you, Conrad. So very much. That gets us up to $97 in support. Can we hit the goal? Can we do it? No, this is not a new mic. This mic has new filters on it, or I adjusted the filters that were on it, including a condenser and other things. So that's what it is. Why are you asking? How does it sound? Like I said, when I set up these filters on this mic months ago, I didn't really know what I was doing. I only did it based on what people were telling me to do. But now people are saying, well, I can't really hear low sounds on the mic, right? Or you cut off. You'll be right in the middle of a sentence, and all of a sudden the mic will just cut off, and we can't hear a word in the middle of the sentence for some reason. Or I stop talking for a while like this, and then I start talking, and it cuts off the first word. So this was supposed to fix that, but I don't know if it is or not. I don't know what it's fixed, right? You tell me. Voice sounds different. Maximum Turbo says, I think the mic is sounding better. Good clarity, good bass, and no cutoffs anymore. Okay, if there's no cutoffs, that's what I was trying to fix. Fed Rogers says, what are you going to talk about on your appearance during the Keno show tomorrow? Well, their entire show tomorrow is based on the election. So I'm going to tune in after my late stream, and we're going to look at the results, like what's going on, what states have come in for what candidate, and we're going to just talk, about that and speculate about who's about to win. And I'm sure they're going to ask me, who do I want to win, and what are my thoughts? And I'll give my thoughts. You guys already know my thoughts. I've told you my thoughts. I hate both candidates. I think both candidates are bad for the country. So people should be voting on how the country was better for them. Was it better under Trump's administration or Biden's administration? Vote for the party who it was better under for you and your family, and that's what you should do, because the candidates are terrible. All right, so there you go. The mic sounds more professional now. Cool. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm definitely glad to hear that. Let's see. I received a $1 tip from a troll. I received a $3 tip. My bad on the question about Cat and Mario Party, because I didn't know about any of that. Best wishes to you both. No offense taken whatsoever. Every once in a while, people ask. They're wondering what's going on, and that's the deal. It sucks. We had big plans for this year. Okay, we really did. Cat wanted to be a big part of my content this year, and I honestly think that if she was, that would have been great. That there would have been some good additions to the content. It would have been something different and fun, and shit just hasn't worked out. It sucks, It really does. But we're hoping that things will get better, and she'll be able to do what she wanted to do eventually. We just got to get there. Excuse me. All right, so we're at $100, guys. $50 to go, but I gotta go within just a few minutes. Last chance. Let's hit the goal. Let's do it now. That way we don't have to worry about it during the clip show. I don't have to worry about people showing up and supporting the show when traditionally it doesn't happen. All right? Who's going to do it? Who's going to drop that $50 tip? Who's going to do a $50 super chat? Who's going to gift 10 subs to the Kit community? Who's going to do it right now? A second run of Inquisition? I don't know about that, Stealthy Kupo. I don't know who's going to go for that. I absolutely agree that I am a lucky man to be married to Kat. I agree with you there. I am incredibly lucky. I've told you guys, my life has turned around since I have met and been with Kat. Like 100%, 180 turn in the right direction. I was heading all the wrong direction, mentally, physically, in every possible way. And she has turned that around for me. So. Oh, really? Conrad Saratoga over on Kick says, thanks for putting me on to the Thanksgiving Firehouse sub. It's tremendous. I'm glad to hear you tried it and liked it. I couldn't try it because they wouldn't deliver the damn thing. That's the whole reason I was going to order from Firehouse subs 2 weeks ago, and then they wouldn't deliver it, which is really frustrating. So I'm glad that you got to try it and enjoy it. I probably would have enjoyed it myself. The mic does sound a lot better now. Good. I'm glad to hear this. I think it's a condenser And what or not a condenser, compressor? Hold on. I just added it this morning. It's called a compressor. And what the compressor does, it tries to equalize all sounds. So whether I'm talking very loud like this, where I'm really emphasizing my voice and the volume, or if I'm whispering like this and I'm going much lighter, it's supposed to try to equalize that volume so nothing sounds too loud or too low, and I can be at different distances to the mic and you can still hear me. But at the same time, with the other filters that I have on the mic, it's supposed to cut out atmospheric noise. So you won't hear the fan going, you won't hear the air conditioner going, you won't hear the landscapers when they come by. That's the whole idea. You won't hear the audio coming from the TV, hopefully. We got to test that today. When I'm watching, do you hear the TV playing? Because if you do, that's a problem, and I got to adjust it so you don't. All right, guys, last chance, absolute last chance for you to support the stream and hit the goal. If we don't hit it in the next, like, 5 minutes, I'm going to go over to the React show, and we're going to have to try to hit it then, and I'm going to be honest, I'm nervous about it. So hopefully we can do it. We'll see what happens. I definitely don't want the streak to end today when we're about to hit 50. We're about to hit an epic milestone, right? What is the longest time I've ever queued up in a line? Oh, man. Like, the longest I've waited in a line for something. What is the longest I've ever waited in a line for something? I mean, the obvious answer that anyone would say is probably at an amusement park, correct? But I can't distinctly remember, you know, when or what. Like, the last time I went to, like, an amusement park and went on a ride was 2012 when I went to vacation to Florida, but I bought the Express Pass, so I really didn't wait that long. When I was younger and I went to amusement parks, you had to wait in line for rides out in the summer heat, which really sucked. I actually remember when I was a young kid and I went to Florida to Universal Studios with my parents, they actually had water in the line. So you'd be waiting in the line, but it was so hot in Florida that they would have tarps and actual water systems that would spritz you to cool you down. Because it was so hot outside. But I mean, honestly, I don't think I have really lined up for anything in a line for a significantly long period of time in a while. You know, shopping lines around Christmas are usually pretty bad. You go to any store like a couple of weeks before Christmas, if it lines out the door, sometimes you gotta wait for like 20 minutes or whatever. Gareth with a 10-pound super chat, which would be our biggest super chat of the day. Says, here's some help towards your goal. Would you consider doing a full playthrough of Dino Crisis if people ask for it? I don't know how much this is in your currency. The British pound, it's only slightly more than $1. It's very close to $1. So we'll count that as $10. It's like only a couple, like in reality, it's probably like $12 or something like that. It's not a huge increase or anything like that. So thank you for that. And I received a $5 tip. It's a troll. Cool. So I will keep the troll's money, and I will not read their message because they can kiss my buttocks. How about that? Kiss the buttocks. Nice and flabby. Actually, my buttocks is not flabby. Like I said, I've lost a lot of weight. I've lost a lot of weight recently. Still, the Kupo says it's $1.30 USD. All right, so it would be a $13 super chat. Let's count it appropriately. There we go. All right, last chance, because I really have to end this show to get the React show going. So last chance if someone's going to support. If not, let's end the show. All right? Any last minute topics? Anything you want to ask me before we go? I didn't even get to half my topics. I didn't get to talk about Life is Strange. I didn't get to talk about a few things. I got so distracted today. Really, I was just so distracted by my seltzer exploding, my light wasn't working, my mic filters, like everything distracted the crap out of me. Yeah, we still didn't talk about the long-term React show. We talk about it every day, and I never get to it. I have a big list of suggestions from OP Boone we're going to get to. Did I enjoy 2024? Yes, I have. This has been a great year. What's my general opinion on rodents? Which is my favorite? I think in general, rodents are cute, although potentially they can be very disastrously, you know, dangerous with diseases. You know what I mean? And overpopulation. But in general, I think rodents are cute. Like a lot of people think that a mouse or a rat is scary. I think they're cute. I do. What's my favorite? Oh, that's a tough question. There's so many different animals in the rodent family that are very nice, you know? Just think about it. Rats and mice, squirrels are in the rodent family. Hamsters, guinea pigs. Who else? Is a rabbit considered a rodent? I don't know if a rabbit is considered a rodent, but I think it's close. Or capybaras. Those are cute, right? I keep going. There's so many different rodents, and they're all cute. I think they're all cute. I can't think of a single one that's like, why would you be afraid of that thing, right? Some people are afraid of creatures with tails, right? They're like, oh, it has a long tail that scares me. It freaks me out. Why? Why would that freak you out? Or I don't get it. Why would you be afraid of a rodent with a tail? That's odd. I think that they're very cute. All right, ladies and gentlemen, out of nowhere, with a giant full football field toss, the Statue of Liberty play, the Hail Mary toss, it is Rend who just did a $37 tip. I'm trying to find the $30 animation because I have so many animations to shuffle through now. $37 tip from Rend. He says, how does it feel to hit streak number 50? A giant milestone, right? I'll tell you, it feels good. And it's funny because this would have been like a giant milestone celebration, except we do it every week, right? Like every week we're doing a special celebration on Friday. So honestly, it would have been like a big milestone, except we're doing the rewards every week, these big milestone events. So it's actually not, oh, big deal that we hit 50. It's going to be more of a big deal when we hit 56 and we lock in to trying this. I think it's called the Shikodu restaurant or whatever. Right? Whatever it's called. But yeah. So, thank you very much to Rend. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, it is official. We make it rain here on DSP Gaming once again. The coffers have been filled. The goal has been hit. The trolls have been sufficiently felted and crushed. I'm very happy to say we're at number 50. What a milestone. And by the way, that one's a lot easier to remember. Unlike when we were at 41 and I couldn't remember what it was. So, hitting 50, thank you all for allowing me to hit the goal again. Now, we continue on. Hopefully tonight. I'm nervous about the late stream as well. I really am. We'll see what happens with the Retro React stream and the conclusion of Silent Hill 1. But if we can keep the momentum going, I can't wait to do the big Japanese feast with you on Friday with authentic Japanese food from an authentic Japanese restaurant and to keep it rolling, right? So thank you guys very, very much. Really appreciate you. And with that, it is time to end our show. Thank you all for watching the Level 1 podcast. Tomorrow, I'll talk about how the React stuff went. I'm sure tomorrow we'll be talking a little bit of politics. How can we possibly avoid it, right? You know it's going to be a hot topic tomorrow to discuss. Maybe tomorrow we'll actually get to talk about the long-form React. Or maybe not. I guess we'll see. But thank you guys. I appreciate you so very much. I hope to see you over on DSP Reacts or stick around on Kick if you want to see the React show of DSP versus the Internet. If not, I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace out.